Hi, I'm Rob Boyd, an English photographer from the UK. I decided to create this podcast series talking to international photographers whose work I truly love. I realised I knew nothing about these amazing people apart from their names and their stunning work. So I created a set of hopefully entertaining questions that finds out who they are and what they love. Hello, Catherine. Nice for you to join me. It's so good you're here.
Thank you to inviting me.
So if you could start with your name.
Okay, my name on Instagram is Sawadikat, but my real name is Catherine Osure.
Perfect. Brilliant. And have you got a website?
No, I have no website.
No. Well, that keeps it simple. That's easy then. Yeah. So
I'm living in Paris, a small town in France.
A tiny little place in France.
I'm born in Brittany, on West Coast, French West Coast, not as far from Normandy, so not as far from England.
So you're
I think we have the same roots.
You're a northerner.
I'm a Celtic.
You know what the Parisians think of the north?
It's true. There's a lot of...
they think everyone from Britain is a bit cuckoo. So if I visited you, where would you take me to shoot? Where would you take me to shoot?
To shoot, I think I could take you everywhere in Paris because everybody is going on the tourist famous places. But there is so much districts or areas in Paris to visit and to shoot. You have popular districts. You have historic district that few tourists knows because they are all following the same book. I don't know, but it's good that way.
Yeah. Perfect. And normally I ask, is there anything for tourists? But you're in Paris, so obviously there's...
So, yeah, it will be not nice to tell you I don't know where, because everywhere I go out my place. But come, I invite you to come.
Yeah, absolutely.
Till I'm there.
That sounds good. So what's your favorite destination in the world? Where do you love the most?
I can say I've traveled a lot, but I've travel enough. So to favorite, I don't know, but for the best place I've been for all the souvenir I have, because it was exceptional, it was Argentina and a small part of Argentina. And I loved Canada, Italy. What can I say? Because anywhere you go in Italy, France, it's a wonderful country to go. But how can you say a favorite place? Okay, probably the one I haven't seen yet. I don't know.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, at least with Canada, you've got the French.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Where would you most like to visit in the world?
Surely go back in Argentina, because I have to go back many times to discover. It's completely incredible for what I've seen and for what I'm imagining. I've been in India, but once. I'm not sure I'm ready to go back again. So it's not answering your question, but I would love discovering much more countries in South America. I've been only in Brazil and in Argentina. I think it's such probably closer to my culture than Asia. I don't know. I can't talk about Asia because I haven't been really, except in Thailand or India. The world is so vast, so big. So I don't know.
Yeah.
For me.
So here's a weird question.
Tell me.
So if you could time travel, where and when would you visit if you could time travel?
I'm starting to answer with a story. I mean, I don't know if it's strange or not, but since I'm born, I've always been linked with a culture of Native American people.
Yeah.
And I've read a lot of book from South or North or whatever. If I could time travel, I will probably go in the 19th century to meet 19, 18, 17, not the end of the 19, nor neither the 20, but I will go back in some century ago to probably have the chance to meet some those tribes who were honestly living really linked with the nature. I don't say it was peaceful, because it was already a lot of wars between them. But I think I will be really, really interested to discover what we have mythically told us. We have learned when we were young, a wrong way to discover those tribes. And more you are interested by, more you discover they were incredible. Probably in other countries or in other continents, but this is what I want. I would love to.
Yeah, perfect answer. Yeah, brilliant. Love it. Yeah. So if you could photograph anyone in history, who would you shoot?
Geronimo.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
The shaman and this emblematic, iconic leader. He was not a king, neither a chief, but he was a shaman, and I think he did so much things at the end of those freedom of those tribes. I don't know, but he touched me a lot.
Yeah. No, perfect. Absolutely perfect. So tell me a fun fact or a story about yourself.
I'm clumsy.
Oh, wow.
Especially with my body. I bump everything. It's because probably I'm tall or my house, my flat is too small or my furniture are too big. I don't know, but I'm full of bruises.
That's not good. That's not a good thing to happen, but still, it's a good fun fact. Well done. So what's your favorite word? I know it's a weird question.
Exquisite. In French, exquis. Exquis. I like the sound and it means such delicate, charming, and beautiful, and it works well with the dresses or with some personalities or for heart. Exquisite. It lets you an emotion of delicateness. I don't know, something like a flower. A flower, exquisite.
Love it. Yeah, perfect. Absolutely perfect. So, because it's an international podcast, teach me a new word or saying I may not know.
I'm going to say that in French, but I don't know the translation in English, and you will have to look for.
Okay.
Pareidolie. Pareidolie, probably the same word in English. Do you know it?
No, sorry.
It's about an optical illusion. Like, when you're watching the clouds, you imagine a form of an animal, for example, and it works for anything. On the spot or dirty things on the floor. I started that way to photograph, by the way. I was watching on the floor and I imagined so many things, and then I made a kind of collage of all the things I've seen. And honestly, it's weird because it's so authentic. So pareidolie. And may I tell you another one that works well with the photography? How do you say that?
Comatopsy.
I think it's a problem with the perception of colors. It's a genetic disease, and a few percent of humanity gets this disease, and some. Okay, it's worse than Daltonian. I mean, it's having a few perception of the colors, and some only see in black and white. So imagine if you that makes me think about blind person that is going in a museum, and I think that Sophie Calle did a kind of concept like this. She took picture and show paintings to blind people and in color, and she was asking them what red or green means to you. So for them, it was just a relative with green was grass. So, it was interesting. And achromatopsy, imagining that some people don't see the color. They're not blind, but only black and white. So it's good for picture.
Yeah, brilliant. And in English, they call it colorblind. So
how do you say that?
Colorblind.
Colorblind?
So blind into color. Yeah, so colorblind. That's how they describe
achromatopsy.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds so much better. So, when did photography click for you? Obviously, excuse the pun, but what moment did you realize you could take a good photo?
The first photography caught me when I was down. I was down and I was not able to communicate anymore, and I was communicating with myself, locked at my place, and then I started again to go out, and I was watching for the dirty things on the floor, and then I was looking for the light, and then what happened, the color, and then I decided to reconnect with people, and I say, whoa, why not? Because I thought long time ago before that I could take picture of people outside. And then I forgot I was doing other things. And then that started that way. It was maybe a couple of years after this when I started, and I was in Vatican. Maybe I already told that story because this is how it started. And I was in Vatican walking in Rome. For those who don't know where Vatican is, the smallest country of the world. And so, I know you know. And I was walking, and then I suddenly realized that on my left there were a fountain, but it was not the fountain, the intrusive subject. It was an old woman with a cigar. I mean, she got no shoes but the home shoe. Do you say home shoes? The thing
right.
you put when you go. Okay, she was with her big home shoes. She got a big cigar under her lips and with a lot of hair on the chin because she was really old. And she was washing her clothes in the fountain right in front of the Vatican.
Wow.
So I took that picture, and I knew it would be an incredible, great picture.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's definitely a click moment. Definitely, yeah.
When I was washing my bad mood, and then I took the picture.
Yeah, brilliant. No, I love it. That's great. So this is the hard bit. So it's your favorite 3 photos and why you like them.
Is it an ambush? Because I can't say I have 3 favorite pictures.
Maybe your 3 favorites now. I don't know.
Okay, but I do. But I want to precise, not my 3 favorites, but one of my favorites among so many. So that woman, because she was my first one, and because of hair on her chin. And the cigar. The nun, you already saw that picture. It's really an iconic one, but I cannot refuse to say, I can say I don't like it because it was such incredible. This nun is wearing an old nun suit, probably from the 60s or the 50s or the 40s. I don't know. I'm not good with nun suits. And she was, she was sitting in an old car, probably from the 50s. I don't know, neither. And the fact that it was incredible because when I was in an old car meeting. That's right. But I was not expecting to discover suddenly a nun drinking a beer, smoking, and dressing like this. The second for me to realize I have to take that picture. She never saw me, by the way. She was putting her beer in the car and she was taking a phone. She was keeping smoking and she was watching her smartphone, and it was a contradiction with 2 times.
Sure.
And that's it. What for the nun and for many reasons I'm not going to explain because it's too long. There is this little girl in the crowd waiting for hours in front of me. Really hot outside, 40 degrees for you. I don't know in Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit? You talking about Fahrenheit or degrees?
We're
Celsius.
Degrees. We're degrees. Yeah.
Okay. So it was really hot and we were waiting. It was the 14th of July, so the National Day in France. And there is always in Paris a big military parade with all the chiefs of the states, of countries, blah, blah, are here just to show off. But at the end, so like a normal person, you're not supposed to have a place to see this parade because there is so many people. So my favorite moment is waiting after the official parade and waiting in the backstage, let's say backstage, at the moment that all the military are free and just breathing and not sweating anymore because they don't have to represent something. And in this backstage, I mean, in another district in Paris, close to Opera, there are all the families of all these young military parading on the Champs-Élysées. You have to be there 2 or 3 hours before to have a place to be sure that you can. So it's one of my playground. As it was too hot, after 2 hours, I sat down on the floor, and in front of me, had another line of people. I could see, if I was holding my camera, I could see in my objective only the legs of the person, of the adults, and there were a young She was probably 7 years old, a young lady, a kid, a child.
Yeah.
And then she suddenly yawned because she was such boring. I mean, imagine for an adult, so I can imagine for a kid staying without moving for 3 hours. It was incredible. And then when I watched her, she was yawning and she just, comment tu dis, hide her face. And so it was perfect. She was yawning and hiding her face. I could not recognize her. It was good, pretty good picture. And everything in that picture is timeless.
Yeah.
This is my style.
Perfect. Absolutely. And they're all three completely different. So the nice thing is, it's great because it's different ages, different types of people. It's great. Perfect.
I like the diversity,
Yeah, absolutely.
I have the same style, but I love the diversity.
Perfect. Brilliant. So what advice would you give a new photographer?
First, I think that like all the photographers, not only the new, keep being curious. Because if you get bored, don't start. If you are already getting bored, don't start. But if you are curious, even if you're afraid, probably trying first to be to go out easier, just to try to searching other photographers in the world, not only in your country. And you will discover many kind of way to photograph, to edit the photography. And you will open your spectrum of possibility to shoot, and you will try anything. If you don't even know yet what to do, just try. And like all the photographers, I will say, and go out the most you can, not only for an hour. Try to go out long, to walk and to shoot, but shoot with a goal, not to obtain something you have already imagined, but don't only just clicking. I mean, try to have your sensitivity on your emotion, talking for your finger, for your sight. And as soon you feel something, even you don't identify what you're feeling, shoot. You will see later. Shoot. And then, yes, go out and your sight will, at some point, your sight becomes more focus, sharp.
Yeah.
Let's say clear, and you are more confident, more self-confident. And the other advice I can probably just say, that not the only one. Trust yourself. I mean, trust your subconscious, and sometimes don't listen to the others. Just do what you want to do. If you feel it, you just have to do it. Don't try to reproduce or copying. It's a temptation to copy. If you want to start with trying to copying just to see the result, you can do that. I mean, like I said, just do what you do. But step by step, you will discover that you're growing up with your photography. You will change, something will change, more and more changing, and then you will find your touch. As soon you feel good with your photograph, okay, but keep doing it. And then another advice, it's probably one of the most important, is just, I never stop to say, try to print the photographs you like. Stop keeping them in an art file, because a photograph is not made to be, okay, you can see them through, like Instagram, through a screen, but a photograph is an object. It's like a book. You can read a book on a computer, on whatever. Having a book in your hand with the smell, and if you have this intention to print, and I push you to do it, please be kind with the edition of your photograph, because what you're going to print is your work. I mean, the work is not only taking a picture, is also making it better. Like when you were in the dark room, negative, what you're doing with a negative. I mean, every photograph was working after a shooting. And in digital, it's the same. If you don't edit them, what's the point? You have only an half part of your work.
Yeah.
That's it.
Perfect. And the printing as well, with the right paper, the right color, the right ink, it works perfectly. You just need the right balance. Yeah. Brilliant.
And that you learn that way to what you learn better probably in the edition than just going out on with a good. For one, I mean, I'm not a good technician, I confess, but for the one who are studying the technique in camera, it's already a gorgeous point to go out and to shoot. But this is let's say the first point. And the second point is not having the best camera of the world. I mean, you can really make good picture with a tiny camera. But for me, the most important is your creativity, your sensitivity. Because picture, you can take 10 photographers on the same scene. It's really interesting because, as you know, Rob, there will be always another picture.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, different pictures, and which is interesting.
Yeah, and different angles, different everything about them. Perfect
We
advice.
are all witness of a moment. Yeah, we are all witness of a moment, and we can go on a trial and swear that we have seen this. But my pal just on my right will have seen probably something else.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, brilliant. So what you got coming up? What's next? What are your goals next?
I'm gonna try to exhibit again, and I'm gonna edit books like I already do. I'm gonna edit my prints, and I'm gonna meet other photographers. We're gonna do things together, and the fact never stop. For me, it's a therapy. When I haven't took a lot of pictures the last months. I mean, in January and February. And at some point, it's like I was missing my medicine. You know, I was like a lion in cage. And so my goal is with photography is holding me up. I mean, giving me joy and meeting people and sharing. And probably, I hope, because I have project that way. I mean, working with other photographers, that for sure. But, I want to share this. I want to, I do that for myself, and I will give, my son will have my photographs, but I'm really confident with my work. And, why would I stop? No need. I need to go somewhere else. I need to do again and always create new concept or new project.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, brilliant. Exactly. And I love the warmth you give. I love your attitude. I love the way you embrace everybody. You know, you're always so friendly when we meet. Everyone's great. You know, we get together and you know, and your work obviously is amazing. I love your work. You know that. It's great.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed having those moments together, all together. And, you know, it's really important. And you know that it's really important to go to others. I mean, it's not because you're meeting people that you have to be with all the peoples, but at some point, more and more, it's like a big community. You have really a big joy to meet again and to share moments. Yeah, it's great. And I thank you again for your such kindness, and you're a lovely person, and I like to talk with you. But please learn French.
Yeah, I try. I'm going to try very slowly.
You have to come in Paris in a few months.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's my my goal. Come back to Paris. That'd be good. Definitely.
Good.
So thank you for being my guest. I really appreciate it. And thanks for your time.
Thank you. No, for your time. Thank you so much. I'm really happy.
Perfect. Will you take care?